Hello and welcome to this tutorial. My name is CosplayGen and today I'm going to show you how you can create a CosCard for printer perfect settings. What you need is Adobe's Creative Cloud Suite and you will need Photoshop. You can go down to CS6 if you want, if you need that, or you can use the newer versions as today. And also Photoshop, a scanner, or a camera phone, so you can take a picture of a calligraphy when it's going to do, and then import into Illustrator and make it digital. So what you see here on the computer screen here is the finished card. We're going to use Hikuja as a case study today. So what I did is I received a picture from her, and she asked me to do a business card, and this is actually the finished product. And I'm into minimalistic design, so what you see here is her cosplay actually as Eren Yeager from Shingeki no Kyojin, and I took this like the Wall of Maria, put that on the back in just as a simple black color, the symbol of wall, and then we have the emblem itself on top of the wall. So I think it resembles very good in a very simple way. And then I started off with making the logo itself. That I did with calligraphy, done by hand, and then I exported it from a scan and took it into Illustrator, and then I traced it with one of its software products inside of it. And so let's get to it. So what we need first is to take your photo. What you'll need is a 300 dpi file. So take this and bring it into Photoshop. What you should see is hopefully you have your finished file that you painted, or you've taken a photo and had the photographer do the last perfections to it, and then you can bring it in here and make sure that the photographer did his work and had it in either RGB or CMYK. If it's in RGB, you can already just put it to the destination CMYK, because that is the finished product we're gonna do in the last, and all the colors is gonna be perfect. Then go into image size. Make sure that the file itself is 300 dpi and has a reasonable size for the business card itself, so it doesn't pixelate or have any evenness to it. So alright, this picture here is already 300 dpi, and everything is touched up, so I just took this straight from Hikuja and told her I'm gonna make something awesome from this. So let's go back into our Illustrator. So I'm going to open up Illustrator here, go to File, select New from the drop-down menu on top here. So you get the new document size here. Everything, just name this file Hikuja, or of course your own name, and CosCard. Then we can just save this up later. And remember always to save while you're working, so you're not going to miss any process if the computer breaks down, and so on and so forth. So inside of this, you're going to create the size here. So we're going to make a vertical card. We can always change the orientation inside Illustrator, but it's easiest just to select this at first. So Moo.com has a classic card that is 55 millimeters by 84, so I'm going to create it like this, and then on top of that we're going to create a bleed that is 4 millimeters all the way around the card, and then it's going to be created in 300 ppi, so we're ready to go. Just press OK, and you see a window that has 2 cards in it. If you need a bit more space, you can just press Shift and O, and then drag this box just a little bit to the side, sorry about that, by clicking Shift and holding Shift and then clicking right. Click on it and drag it over to the side. So that's pretty easy for that part. So I'm going to take my picture, drop it on top here. I'm going to just size it down so it fits inside the red box, the red you can see the red stroke around here. That is where the card is going to be cut off from the black box here. This is just called the bleed. So this, you don't have to worry about that, only that you fit it inside this. So if you have anything that you wanted to make sure you don't cut off, then take 5 millimeters from the black stroke here and then drag it in here, so that you know that everything inside that point here is gonna be left as it is. So all right, we're gonna start up with the front side of the card. So we're gonna go back into our folder, and then I had my calligraphy done, as you could see before. So I'm going to take this part, drag it into Illustrator, and then you can see here, this is a 300 DPI scan. So I'm just going to rotate it, and just place it up here. And it's quite easy actually to make this trace of it. So what you will see up here, it's going to appear this button that says Image Trace. I'm just going to press this. It's going to ask me for some processing that's pretty slow. It's going to make the computer slow. I'm just going to press OK. And then it takes a little while, and the computer creates a vectorized file of this. So I just press the button up here to say expand, and then I'm going to press, if I'm on a Mac, Command and Shift. If I'm on a PC, then Control and Shift, and then press 7 a couple of times. And it should expand the whole thing, so everything is going to be set up in different layers. I'm just going to deselect everything, and I can take my finished product here and just double click it. Then I'm going to go into an isolated state, and I can drag away the upper layer. So I'm just going to delete this by pressing backspace or delete on my keyboard, and then I have the outline of the whole shebang here. So I'm just going to delete the other ones that I did some tries on it, and then I'm going to go down here to the finished calligraphy. So I can delete the small areas in here. I'm going to do that by selecting that with my mouse and press backspace or delete, and also the other one over here by pressing the area here and then pressing delete. So you can see here it's actually quite fine in its trace here. That is quite nice actually. So I'm gonna select all of this. Then I can go to my window options here. I can go down, select, if not already opened, this window here that says Pathfinder, and then I should get this little box over here. If I press this, then all the small, you can see there's a lot of small stuff inside of this. All this is gonna be put into one shape instead of have multiple shapes. So I'm not, right, at this point I'm going to do that, and then you can see everything here is one shape besides all of these small units out here. Alright, so I'm going to take this logo here, and I'm going to select white color, so it's going to stand out from the background, and then I'm going to size it down. I sized the file down by, I can move this around just by holding it, the right mouse button down. If I select the whole thing while pressing Shift, then the whole thing is gonna do like a vertical or a horizontal drag, and then you can drag it down without the whole thing just going all over the place. So if I just select the thing I want to size down by clicking Shift and then using one of these small boxes out on the left or right, I can drag the whole thing down until I got the final logo. So I'm just going to drag it onto the artboard, and you can see here it's looking quite nice already. So you can see it's kind of like I would call this a film poster. So to make this stick out a little bit more from the background, I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to go over here to my appearance panel, and that should bring out, oh sorry, no, I'm going to go up here to effects, go down to stylize and drop shadow. I'm going to press the preview box here, and I'm going to select this X offset and set that to 0, and the Y offset and set that to 0 as well. I'm going to have the blur to 1.76 millimeters and just press OK. The color is just pure black. So you can go and select this here. I'm going to select this and set it to 60 by 40, 40, and 100. And it's going to do complete black when doing the printing process after you deliver it to the printer. So I'm just going to press OK. And this is quite nice. You can see it has a little bit of a shadow, but it's not too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the cosplayers, as you saw earlier. I'm going to write the cosplayer's identity here. So I'm going to select the T-type tool over here. Just press anywhere on the screen. I'm just going to press out here in the gray area just so I know what to write, where I can write it. I'm just going to write, she's from Hungary, so I'm just going to write Hungarian cosplayer. And I already decided to go with Futura font here, so I'm just going to select the Futura medium italic. I already installed Futura through Typekit, so if you do not have this, you can go and download it here, or you can go and find it online. So I'm going to take my font here, what I just wrote, and put it underneath. And just going to size it a bit down like this, like I did before. Select with Shift and then drag from one of the corners. And I'm going to place it a little bit higher here. So to make sure, I want to place this in the bottom. So to make sure that everything is not going to get cut off, I'm going to select the rectangle tool and go down to the bottom right and then press Shift, and then you can see there's a little marker that says W and H and 504 here. I'm just gonna use this, and now you can see this is the lowest point of the card where I can go. So it's actually placed perfectly as it should. So that's done now. So we got this front part of the card. So I can go to the back side of the card now. So what we had before was some social icons. So I'm going to provide these for you guys. I made EPS files. I'm just going to take this, drag it into Illustrator like this. And I already sized it down for you, so they fit probably quite good inside of the document. So I'm just going to take all these, select them. You can go to Edit, or you can press Command-C on a Mac, or Control-C on a PC, or you can just go up here and press Copy, and then go back to your document. So I'm just going to place them out here for now, and then I'm going to select the rectangle tool once more. So I think it was about here we created the rectangle. So I'm just going to make sure that the color is as it should be. So I select this for CMYK for 60, 40, 40, and 100. So now we have a minimalistic back. So this is going to resemble the Wall Maria. So to make this a little bit more playful, I'm going to take this line segment tool. Just drag. I'm going to press this side here. On one side, I'm just going to select the Shift button and drag it all the way over to the other side. Make it a little bit crooked, and then just leave it. So just release the button. So let's go down here in the Tools panel. You can select the stroke, and I already had a black color just to make sure that everything's fine. You can see 60, 40, 40, 100, and that's quite all right. So to make this a bit rugged, I'm gonna go to brush settings. So we're gonna select this, the stroke there, and you can see this charcoal feather setting here is gonna make it a little bit funny to look at. So it's still a bit more minimalistic. So I'm just gonna place it on top of this square here, and you can see it has like 2 anchor points. I'm gonna put the other one a little bit down and take the other anchor point and just drag it out here. I'll just select it with the right button, and then take it down if I need to do that. Then you can see the top is actually quite uneven, so that's what I was working on. That's what I was going for. So it's not looking so even. So I'm gonna select this just by dragging, so you can see the marquee tool. There we go. I'm gonna go to Object and expand the appearance of it. And then you can see it created an object instead of a stroke. So with that, everything looks perfect as it should be there. So I can just take my key tool by pressing A on the keyboard, or you can go up here to the toolbox, select the arrow that is white, and you can just take all of these small things here and just delete it because we don't need it. And some of that is gone now, and that is perfect. So I'm gonna select both the big rectangle and this up here, and we're gonna go to the Pathfinder once more. If you do not have this open already, you can go to the window and the window options here, and you can go down to Pathfinder. So by selecting that, they're gonna get this small window again, and we can go to the shape modes, and I'm gonna unite all of the content here into one. So now this has become one, and it looks quite good. And now I want to create the Wall Maria logo here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out here, and I already downloaded at some point. I downloaded the Wall Maria logo. I think it's just over here. So I'm going to take this, drag it into my document. The size a little bit down. Yeah, sorry, it's some wall rows here. Doesn't matter. Only matters to you if you want to do something differently. So I'm going to select this, and I'm just as we did with the back over here with the front with the calligraphy itself. I'm going to select this, go up here to image trace. I'm going to make the computer work its magic. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press the expand button here, and then it's going to make all the whole picture that I found on Google. It's going to make it into a vector graphic. So I'm going to select all the white first. I can do this by just dragging it away, and then I can press the delete or backspace button. I will do this for all. Oh, sorry, I'm going to keep the white ones inside of this. So I'm going to select all of the small black ones out here just to make sure that all of that is going to go away. I'm going to provide you guys a file where you can just use this. So do not worry, we will figure something out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the rectangle tool, select this up here, and I'm going to select the 2 of these. Oh, sorry, I'm going to delete this. Do not worry, everything is fine. Good. Delete all the small things that you can see. You can delete the wall rows here as well. Alright, so everything here is now selected. You can see everything here is actually combined. So what I will do, I will take this rectangle, just rotate it, put it on top over here, and just going to go a little bit down here so it just reaches the top of the emblem itself, and select the whole thing. So you can see I take the marquee tool, the black arrow from up here. Just you can either select this by pressing V or A on the keyboard, and now you should see it should just overlap this a little bit. So what I will do, I will go to the Pathfinder once more, and you can see the minus front options here. I'm gonna press this button, and then it should take away the top over here. So now you can see, now I got a nice and even top on that. I can just, and I only have this small part here. What I can do, I can just go and select this by double clicking, and it's going to take it into an isolated state, and I can just select this with the marquee tool and delete it with delete or the backspace button. And now I have a logo here from Shingeki no Kyojin that actually looks quite nice. So I'm just going to go back here and just double click outside in the gray area. Then it's going to take me back to the whole palette. I'm going to drag this down a little bit by selecting the shift and use the right mouse button, and I can select that and put that on top of here. So actually now that part is actually over. Don't worry, all of this out here, they will not go when printing. So what we can do now, we're going to have Hikoja's logo appear up here as well. So I can take this Hungarian cosplayer, her identity as well. I'm going to take this and I will put that on top of here. And now you think, oh God, no, I cannot put white on white because even though there's a shadow on it, it's going to look weird. I'm going to agree with that, so I'm going to make this scale a little bit down, and I'm going to put it into the middle here. What you see up here is an align tool, so you can just horizontally align to the center. So we'll do that. I'm going to drag it a little bit down as well. So I will take off the shadow here. That I will do from the appearance menu. If you do not already have the appearance menu set to your work toolbar over here, you can go to the window and you can go here and select appearance. Then you should get this over here. I'm going to take away this small shadow by selecting the whole thing, and then you can just go down here and you can select drop shadow and just click and hold the right button and go into the trash can. I'm going to select this. I'm going to press the command Shift and 7, or if you're on a PC, of course, Control Shift and 7, just once or twice, and then you should get the logo in either white or black. So I'm going to select this if it's not black already. Go into the color palette, make this 60, 40, 40, and 100. And then you go. There we go. Very nice. I'm going to, of course, take this, the Hungarian cosplayer as well. I'm going to select the font size and go down to about 7, I think, or just so it fits inside underneath the logo. Let's drag this down. So about the size of this. And of course, it should not be white, it should be black. So 60, 40%, 40%, 100%. Just press the enter button or press OK on the screen. So now what we got here, you can select both the written text and the logo. Go up here. The align menu should appear as a horizontal align center, and that should center the whole thing. The black big wall up here is a bit too high, so I'm going to select the whole thing just by using the black arrow up here. It's going to select all the objects. I'm just going to hold shift down, drag it a little bit down just so we get some space, and that should be it. We can just take these two here as well, these two, so it goes all the way up to the red bar, and select these by holding shift down. You can deselect everything here, so you can just deselect that, hold shift down, press the white boxes, and drag it up to the box here. So now it should just be in this area here, so that's perfect. What I will do now is I will take my social icons out here and make them white. So what we can do, we can go to swatches, and you already selected these with the marquee tool here. Press the white button, and if you can see here, the DeviantArt logo is not doing as it should be. You can select it, press Command or Control Shift and 7 and it should change back into white. Otherwise, if it's black, you can just go and select the color, and that should be it. So all right, I think we already spaced these out, as it should. If you go into here, just drag it onto, you can see, oh, it's in the back. And if you're afraid of what to do here, you can just select the whole thing. You can deselect this by clicking Shift and drag the marquee tool over it, and then you only select the back here. So I'm going to right click it, go to Arrange, and bring to front. And there we go. Then we need some information, like you can also, of course, you can, I would recommend people to put on their phone number for getting a quick access from for the photographers. So that I think is a great idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the type tool. Let's type anywhere out here. So I'm going to put the person's email. It could be domain, or we can add domain.com. And then just press escape on the keyboard, and then you can just press the white button, sorry, the white swatch up here. I would recommend this size to be about, I think, about 7, 8, or 9, so it's readable for everyone. I'm just going to take this, drag it all over here. There we go. And you can see it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to take this down to 7. And we can take this and copy the whole thing down. So what I'm going to do, what I did here was I selected this. I pressed Command, or if of course, if you're on a Mac, if you're on a PC, then I press Control, and then F, sorry, and then C, and then F. Then it's going to create a whole copy of what you just did and just paste it on top of the other one. So you can drag it down by selecting Shift and just go down. So I'm going to do that by selecting the other as well. So I selected both of them. Press Command or Control. Press C for copy, and then press F for pasting into the spaces already on, and then drag it down by pressing Shift and dragging with your mouse by selecting with the right tool. And then you can see it's a little bit going into the World Cosplay down here. So I'm going to select the top two here, drag them out so they're spaced evenly, then select all the icons here. They're already selected, every one of them, I think. No, they're not. So I'm going to select all of them. Go to Object. You can also just press the group button by selecting the either Command if you're on a Mac and G, or Control G. And then I'm going to use the Line tool again. And there we go. It should be in the middle there. You can just double click this. We're going to go into an isolated state again. I think we did a little too much space between them. So I'm going to use my arrow keys and press a little to the left here until I think that the space is quite good. Then we already got the email. I'm going to go to the domain and DeviantArt. Then you can just, of course, you can put it, you can copy your URL into that, same as with the Facebook here. And of course, with your worldcosplay.com, usually people, they paste in the whole URL. If you want, you can go and put in your member number, so people can just go and use that. Or of course, if you just have a name like Hikuja has on her profile, they can just paste that into that, and then people can go and search that up online if they want. So that pretty much sums up how I created the logo, sorry, the business card, and that's pretty much it for this design itself. I'm going to give you a link to where you can go and find the export settings. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye. Clicking the link in the video will take you to the tutorial exporting the CosCard, or you can find it in the crotch bar section. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.